Now King David was old and advanced in age. Although they covered him with bedclothes, he could not get warm. So his servants said to him, "Let us search for a young virgin for my lord the king." Kind of just said it twice there, but she is to attend the king and be his caregiver. She is to lie by your side so that my lord the king will get warm. They searched for a beautiful girl throughout the territory of Israel. They found Abishag the Shunammite and brought her to the king. The girl was
Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Surpassed beauty, and she became the king's caregiver. She attended to him, but he was not intimate with her.
The most beautiful part is just all just book.
It's all just book.
And that is why I do not read the Bible.
For out thy turneth.
Yes. Aruna.
All right, now read that like Gibraltar.
Now King David was old and advanced in age. Although they covered him with bedclothes, he could not get warm. So his servant said to him, let us search for a young virgin for my lord the king. She is to attend the king and be his caregiver. She is to lie by your side so that the lord the king will get warm. They searched for a beautiful girl throughout the territorial area. They found Abishag the Shunammite and brought her to the king. The girl was once surpassed beauty, and she became the king caregiver. She attended to him, but he was not intimate with her.
Dude, Geralt has this jugular vein. It goes out. Like, you can hold on to this one.
Yeah, he speaks through the lyrics.
Yeah. Uses all of his diaphragm.
I was going to think that the first time you said it, I would have heard it better, but I still don't understand a fucking thing.
No, dyslexia.
The only thing I got away from that was that they're looking for a virgin for the king.
Yeah,
a young virgin
to keep warm at night.
Yeah, that's like, so he can get warm. That's about it.
You know,
shit, I was the one fucking reading. That's all I made out.
You know what's interesting though is that when I started reading that thing, because you know our whole thing about how their perception of God on our opinion of that. I mean they don't, but I guess we can go ahead and get into it. Is when I started reading that the other day when I bought it, there was this. I actually remember the chapter. If you go to Genesis 11.
Genesis?
Genesis.
He's a dude with a chin.
Yeah, not Hyundai, but
Jared Leto's in this book?
But if you go to Genesis 11,
Where the fuck is that?
I have not.
It's literally go to my bookmark and then just flip a page back. And
you haven't really made it far in this.
No, I just started. To be
fair, I don't think they have either.
Yeah, I think anybody that talks about what certain things say in the Bible, they don't know what anything else says in the Bible.
What now?
Yeah. Whatever. When people open up to the middle of the book, I guarantee you they never read the fucking other half of it.
Yeah, there's.
You ever realize that every single church is always in the middle of the book?
Yeah. It's where they keep their notes.
Open up to Matthew 12:7.
Right where we were last week.
Yeah.
We're going to say it again. Some of you people are new here.
You can go home to your toys.
Yeah, but if you look at it's called the Tower of Babylon. Just read that, and we can dissect.
I mean, how do you want to read it?
How do you
Just
need
read
this
it.
transcribed?
Just read it normally.
Like book to face again?
Yeah.
All right, Cameron, come to me. Oh, cometh to me. Chapter 11, the Tower of Babylon. The whole earth had the same language and vocabulary. As people migrated from the east, they found a valley in the land of Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make oven-fired bricks." Parenthesis. They used brick for stone and asphalt for mortar. End of sentence, period. Parenthesis. And they said, come, let's build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the sky. Let's make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered throughout the earth. Then the Lord came down to look over the city and the tower that the humans were building. The Lord said, if they have begun to do this as one people all having the same language, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come. Let's go down there and confuse their language so that they will not understand one another's speech. What a dick. So from there the Lord scattered them throughout the earth, and they stopped building the city. Therefore it is called Babylon. For there the Lord confused the language of the whole earth. And from there the Lord scattered them throughout the earth. They kind of said that twice. End.
Now, what's your takeaway from that?
I don't know. This dude's just a fucking troll.
That's exactly
Dude, these people, they're all getting along. They're
They've
building
almost
shit.
got
This
the
is-
answer.
This is fucking great.
So the summary of the story was that everybody had the same language and vocabulary, and they're like, "Dude, let's just fucking build some shit, and make a name for ourselves." And God just comes on, nah.
Yeah,
Fuck
they were on the cusp of having the answer to everything, and God was like,
It took me literally infinity to figure this shit out.
So that's actually where the phrase Babylon comes from. So it's like you're just babbling on. Is because when God came in, he just confused the language, and so everybody was just couldn't understand each other. And so the people that did, they created, they had their own countries and shit like that. So that's actually the technical, like biblical way of why there are different languages.
part of me thinks that God is a dick. But the other part of me says if they just built this Gucci ass city, the rest of the earth would just be a yard. So it was an attempt to probably build a bunch of Gucci ass cities.
I think it's like all right, so we have to imagine like all of us are wearing like pressed shirts and ties and stuff, and act like we have substantial investment properties to understand this. I think maybe it can be some kind of like unified thing where everybody gets along perfectly, and then he gives everybody the opportunity to completely restart in order to constantly make attempts to connect to people. I'm not sure. Maybe this is where I don't understand God's word, but this to me makes no sense.
So how I see it is in a sense where if you're trying to understand what is the positive out of that, I think it's to really highlight the negative, not in God's sense, but what he was trying to prevent. And I think what he was trying to prevent was creating a world order, one world government type deal. Yeah. You know? And so
I think it's a modern application, but to me it also kind of reflects what happens to society when people disband and when people are no longer unified versus what society could be like if people were unified.
Yeah. Are they unified or are they all sheep?
What do you mean? Who's sheep to who?
So the best thing to counter an echo chamber is another echo chamber. You know? So if everyone is in step with the person in front of them, you don't have individual thought, you know, to where when you have this echo chamber on this side of the planet, this echo chamber on this side of the planet, you know, you have different ways. One may not be better than the other, but you can grow as a society.
Hey, quick question. This is like an realism version of this, but how did he scatter people throughout the world? Did he like literally teleport them, or like?
No, they gave them different languages. They didn't understand what each other. So he basically created factions. like,
Yeah,
I
so,
thought
like,
they meant that they
basically-
literally had everybody in the world in one spot speaking the same language, and then he took the people and literally scattered them.
No, they scattered themselves and they
And he
created
just
their
gave them
factions.
different languages.
So you got to look at it like this. So Babylon, the city of Babylon, everybody's there. Let's just say there's 1 million people there. They all speak the same language, same vocabulary, whatever. And God comes in and he takes that 1 million people and he just divides them in 8 different ways and gives 8 different languages to within the millions of people. And so them not being able to understand each other, they just find the people that understand them and then they go do their own thing. And so that's when they separated. The whole point was that because they want them to spread on the earth. And
that makes better sense, I guess. I was like wondering, like, could you imagine sitting there being Ishmael the Fourth and just farming,
you got to leave.
churning butter,
but if you listen
like
here,
just
though,
churning butter, and then you're just teleported to the fucking Appalachian Mountains, and you're just like, the fuck?
Now you're churning a goat for some reason.
So-
Just like, wow, what is
so what I have an issue with is when he says if they have begun to do this as one people, all having the same language, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them.
yeah, that's where it sounds like a cock blocker to me.
Yeah, it sounds.
That's
to me,
why it sounds like a troll. It's
Yeah,
like, whoa,
like-
these guys are really doing well.
Yeah, and then he said, "Come, let's go down there and confuse their language, so they will not understand one another's speech."
Yeah, it's like,
Like-
literally changing the rules of the basketball game as you speak. as
Yeah,
you play.
like, no, you can't do that.
No, you can't. You can't use 2 hands on the ball at once. Double dribble.
travel, yeah.
Travel.
It's called travel.
Yeah, he stepped twice, but he didn't do it like this.
You can do 1.5
Yeah.
steps.
And so that's where once I read that, I was like, "Dude, you're a fucking dick, bro."
Yeah.
But there could be like, so I'm trying to look at both sides of it, or at least try to see if there are more than one side than what I'm thinking of. And how I see it is that I see it there was people unified under one entity, and it looked like they were thriving so much so that they were building a fucking tower to the sky, and it just seemed to me like they were, if left be, they would have accomplished a lot.
Maybe
You
God
know,
was scared they're going to
as a
learn that the
society.
earth was flat.
Maybe, or they'd, build to the firmament dome and touch the top.
It's like, wait a minute.
So they're start knocking on it.
Yeah. Hey,
What the fuck is this?
Hey, we figured it out.
this is bullshit.
Grab the drill.
We're in a matrix.
It's new world record speed run.
Yeah, part of me thinks the dude's a dick, but like I wouldn't want to think the way people do in Los Angeles. I like being able to think on my own.
Well, you only understand that you don't like that because you think on your own.
Right. Yeah, I like the differences in people. It makes me more curious of the world and having little to do with the rest of the world, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Are you talking about like ignorance is bliss?
Well, I say like we all like Trump. The conversation's over.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
need to explain yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna sit there and say, "Isn't he so great?" Yeah, he's so great. Remember how he did it? Yeah, I did remember it. Yeah. this is like it get very boring.
It's just a shit bag conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the ocean in California is 65 degrees year round. It makes me really appreciate the fact that mine isn't.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's just I like the differences in just what 1,000 steps could make. So part of me is pretty grateful he did that.
Kind of want to find another
If he did that.
weird story in there.
Joe.
So yeah, I see it as that, like, being able to see the wonders of the world, and appreciate just all things that it has to offer.
Yeah, even the
just,
simplicity of the world.
yeah.
You know,
But so would you see that more as a positive thing to society, or just in general, Or do you see that as like a negative thing? Like what are some things, just by hearing that, what are some things, what's your takeaway?
Subjective. I think it's subjective because a utopian society sounds great. But to me, a utopian society sounds like hell. It's like the Truman Show. You know? Is this what you really think? You know?
Or is this what you've been designed to think?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it. It sucks that these dudes were really close to
hit him with
enlightenment. You know,
hit him with this I want to be an explorer when I grow up. Too late. It's all been explored. All right, well, fuck. One thing going for me. I was the adventure guy.
Yeah. I found a stone.
Yeah,
it's so part of me for the people that had the ability to achieve so much. I think it sucks for them. But
how much was that book?
$35.
Shouldn't it be free?
No, you got to pay to know the Lord, though.
No, dog.
My bad.
10%.
Wait, 10%.
It was 10% off, actually.
Got to pay the man, dude.
Yeah.
Got to pay the man.
Too bad that's 400% of what I currently have.
So I think it's like how I believe I think the world would be great without government, but there's going to be some drawbacks to it. And it would only work in a utopian society.
Yeah, we would need to dispose of a couple of people.
Yeah, well, if I'm honest, though, our current way of governing would be great in a utopian society. You know, a republic is awesome in a utopian society in which we are not. So all of these facets of governing, it all sounds great, but it's not remotely possible. A republic's probably the closest you get, but you still got to recycle it every so often.
Yeah, and plus, well, also there would never be one successful vote if we had a Republican voting process.
What you do,
it'd have to be 100%.
Well, a republic just means representative, you know. So it's you do have it, but it is still vastly done democratically through the electoral process.
It has to be done that way.
Yeah, so
the voting process at least it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting story since our introduction was you just reading some random shit about David.
Oh, it was the book speaking.
Yeah. When you first told me the story, I was like, dude, that dude's a fucking dick, dude. But the more I thought about it, I was like,
I feel like it is probably necessary.
It's needed.
Realistically, there's an interesting concept that was told to me. It's like, realistically, all the merits that we believe in, if this scripture, as they call it, is as old,
the great book,
is as old as they say it is, then realistically it would make sense as to where most of our merits come from. And my argument has always been, no, some Jewish dude wrote this like 45 years ago, and then before him was a different dude. Like, it's just, to me, I've always just thought some random people wrote this shit. Like, there's some dude typing up the next Bible right now. That's what I thought. Edition 76.
I still think that. But.
And this one, anyway. So this one's called the...
That's why they always make them look
Holman Christian Standard Bible. It's a different version that they started writing it like they'd retranslate it with like... It talks about it in the front.
Yeah,
like they had a bunch of different denominations get together.
What I was getting
they get together and they constructed this, so it's like redid, you know, like it's not all verbatim, but
yeah. So what I was getting at is for the people that doubt where it comes from, I've realized like they want physical proof in their hands, but sometimes things don't always actually pan out that way. You know, like the existence of Abraham Lincoln. None of us were there, but we rely on books, documents, and stuff like that. But we lend validity to the things that we actually think are true, but the things that we don't believe the truth of, we discredit. And that's what I was told. But it's just realistically, the same faith that I have that George Washington existed is the same faith that Jesus existed. And where the books come from. It's just like, why does this book mean less, but if you put a U.S. history book next to it, it means more?
Well, I'd have to disagree just a little bit. I do agree with you mostly, but the only part that I disagree with you on is the fact that we have documents literally written from the dude.
Yeah, but by technicality,
There's no written documents from Jesus.
well, apparently
This is all hearsay shit that, you know, these people, these books that they have written. There's no author, but they know the first 5 books was written from Abraham.
well, then we can just back it up even further.
So I don't
like the kings of Europe. You can just back it up even further, but yet we constantly give validity to the things that we find.
Yeah, and that's where I agree with you on.
And it's because I don't take any. You guys know my side and my opinion on these things, but something he gave me a very fair caveat was just think about that. I mean, why do you believe in this stuff but not in this? And this isn't even at that faith. This is just realistically, if you're discrediting one because of lack of proof, but you're giving light to the other, even though you lack the same amount of proof. I mean, that's kind of like pretty close to the definition of ignorance.
With me, I don't discredit it. I approach even American history with caution. You know, I think that the civil rights era was not what it is. The way you're taught about civil rights, I don't believe it was like that. I believe there's much more to it than a 3% tax on, and that's why they threw the T out in Boston Harbor. I believe there's way more to it. I don't believe that it went the way it's wrote. I just know it happened. I do know we overthrew the king.
Where's your actual proof that it happened?
We're sitting
but that
in
was
country.
probably the straw.
How do you actually know that event took place?
I know for a fact. Well,
You don't know for a fact because
England came here.
Didn't say that.
Well,
You
actually,
literally
England.
didn't see it,
Hang on. You can.
You literally didn't see it.
I didn't witness the event, but I'm witnessing the
result.
the result of it.
But shouldn't the churches, the faith, the belief, the books,
I don't doubt that.
shouldn't all that?
I
be the
don't
same
doubt
proof?
that there was a dude named Jesus. I doubt the fact that he moonwalked on water.
Well, so take a look at the Gettysburg address or the Battle of Gettysburg. You could still find cannonballs there and bones there, supposedly. Or you can even go to the Bowling Green in New York City, where the king's statue used to be.
Yeah.
But then
And you
you've
can still see the iron fence where they cut the crowns off.
But then you've
It's
got
still there.
But then you still have. Well, just because some of the stuff is there, but doesn't mean that stuff actually happened. That stuff could just. They just said
Granted.
that this is what happened here.
Granted,
But
but
it
if you
didn't,
got
you know.
if you got multiple,
I mean, they said an insurrection happened on January 6th.
if you got multiple sources
Yeah.
from different areas at the time, I do agree with that. But
What you're conflicting is now. I can't speak for everybody. I can just speak for myself. I know January 6th happened, but I don't think January 6th happened the way everyone's told. I just know there's multiple sides here, and it's probably all of them are true.
But
Yeah.
if Christianity is all over the planet, then there's actually more evidence of that than there is of what we know.
No, it's more evidence of a belief. I'm not doubting. I don't think religion is bullshit. I just don't know it's true. Just like I don't doubt that there wasn't a civil rights era, but I'm doubting what they tell me what it was about.
Yeah. Well, I guess if
know?
like for you, there's like physical evidence, and there's apparently there's been stuff that's been they've like decrypted some of like where Noah's Ark was, and then they found a piece of it on top of a mountain. You know, like there's stuff like
yeah,
that.
like I was
dates
reading
back
about
to-
Noah's Ark, and it was talking about what the land mass that the ark rested on. And when you told me that that it was that it landed on a mountain, they found it on the top of a mountain. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then just now reading this a couple days ago and it talking about it landing on a mountain, I thought it was pretty cool. And one thing I always also found interesting is that there are multiple religions or societies, in fact, that if you chart where they were at the time that they talked about these things, like such as most religions talk about a flood, the Great Flood, or whatever. Even the Bible talks about the flood with Noah's Ark. There are multiple religions that talk about a great flood, but they have no, like those societies had nothing to. They've never connected in any way when they've looked at the geographical locations that these places have originated at, or where the religions were at. And I always thought that was interesting too. So you got to give it a little bit of credit there. You know, like that's substantial evidence enough. The fact that there are multiple different civilizations that talked about a flood, but those civilizations have never talked to each other.
Yeah. So if I go on a small rant, so like this would be a little bit of a detour. Like, so, like nobody will ever convince me that skinwalkers don't exist. Okay. And that's because you literally cannot prove to me that they don't exist. Because the very existence of the creature is something that's beyond human comprehension.
Yeah.
So to me, like what I believe is what God is and everything like that, it sounds like a load of bullshit. Realistically, it's just what it sounds like. Like, yes, the water to wine, you know, like that's just kind of, it's fucking retarded. But, and then the power of a dude that just can do that shit. And if you were to have somebody sit in this room and they could physically snap and an object materialize in their hand, that would shatter your mind, realistically, because it's against every known law of physics that you've ever come to know.
No. I don't think that it's, but I would think that he's a Jedi.
Well, you would.
We've written books about you.
Well, you would think that it wouldn't shatter your mind, but at some point, it's like, it's because if I was to slam my hand on the table and it literally went right through it, it's just that we would never have an actual answer as to why the actual fuck that happened. To me, it's like how we find theoretical physicists completely useless because, well, they are, but it's because they think that like Neil deGrasse fucktard Tyson is
is that his middle name? Or
I'd imagine it
we'll
fits.
Just say it is.
The bill fits, but he thinks he knows how black holes work. He thinks he knows how they work. He has literally never seen one form. He has literally never actually observed one super close. He does not know how it works. Doesn't know what's on the other side.
But he says,
but yet he
it's
says
facts.
That's what it is. Like you're assuming that you know how everything in the observable universe actually works.
It's bold.
Like to me, that's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, well, this stuff. This is alien technology. This literally could not happen. Like ships cannot just disappear into thin air, into dimensions and stuff. It's like, well, you're assuming that's how it works on his planet. You know, like
what's that? There's a movie that you would probably like then, because me, I wouldn't have quit. Like, say if somebody came in here and just like, oh man, I'm thirsty, and just a bottle of water. So I think you can actually.
If I could materialize body of water, I'd rather just materialize saturation in my body.
Yeah. Just never be dehydrated.
Yeah, I just never drink.
I don't doubt the fact that because everything on this planet, particularly, is electric. You know, I wouldn't doubt the fact that there is some dude on the planet that is so interwoven into nature that he could move things with his mind. I don't doubt that, and I would not think that he's a god. I just think that this dude's unlocked the fucking shadow realm. And he's got some main character fucking energy. Yeah. But I wouldn't equate him to God. You know what I mean?
No.
But there's a movie called Phenomenon with John Travolta. It's an old movie. And he gets like electrocuted or some shit. Dude, it's actually a really dope movie, dude. But he can like totally move shit with his fucking mind and shit. It's a really good movie. I just watched it not too long ago. It's way like fucking 80s movie. And it's actually pretty dope.
What's it called?
Phenomenon.
But I think the way that people use religion is like a way that people can feel that they actually understand the reality of the world, or at least understand a version of it, if that makes sense. You know, because
it's very complex. It's very labor.
Yeah, there is no amount of explanation that stupid idiot theoretical physicist could ever tell me.
Stupid motherfucker. He's such a dumb sack of shit with his PhD.
That is such a basic insult. Dude, like it's very insulting.
You're not even worth
some
an intellectual insult.
Some people are so ugly. Like you can't. The only way, like I've seen people that look so fucked up that I'm just like, That's an unfortunate looking person. There's no amount of insulting that could work.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate to see. I'm sorry you look like that. To me, there's no explaining how dumb that guy is.
A stupid idiot retard.
Neil deGrasse Tyson to me looks like Mr. T if he went a different path in life.
No, just
Yeah.
Mr. It's just Mr. T with
The associate's degree.
Dr. T.
Dr. T. Man. He just didn't shave both the sides of his hair.
Yeah, it's just the way he looks. I don't know.
It's something fucking about it. It's just he thinks he fucking knows everything. To me, there's nobody actually dumber than him.
Key and Peele did an awesome skit.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it actually is.
He just sidesteps every logical question.
What do you want for dinner tonight? It's not actually what you'd want for dinner. It's actually just
Does dinner want you?
You see, in the observable universe, it's just this. I'm gonna literally fuck you up.
Yeah, you're just saying nouns and verbs and shit, dude.
They made it funny about he was walking towards the camera the whole time. Just ignored his wife and the question.
Like Neil, what are you looking at? Like, I just cannot fucking stand the dude.
Yeah,
it's just fucking irritating.
He speaks as though just I'm glad you asked me that because I'm about to make you not worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure you never ask another question again.
Yeah, I could have guessed with the rest too, dude. You're speaking nothing. Don't get me wrong. I bet you the dude's really fucking smart, knows a lot of shit, or he knows a lot of information. That's what I think.
To me, that's all calculated guesses. It's like realistically, there. To me, all of his shit is bullshit. Like, to me, gravity doesn't actually. It technically isn't fucking real because these fucking retards have literally.
It's real out in outer space. Hunter said.
Well, so these fucking.
That's not what I said.
So these retards, they have granted and entertained the idea that if you slap your hand on a table, the chance is basically calculated as impossible. But there is a chance that your hand, since apparently none of these fucking atoms are actually touching, it will just perfectly pass right through one another. So you're telling me that physical contact isn't actually guaranteed, but you're telling me that if I drop this pencil 100% of the time, it will fall. To me, if you have entertained the idea that touching another physical object will completely miss each other and everything phases right through, then to me, technically speaking, if you've entertained the idea of that not happening 100%, then gravity can just fucking fail eventually. If given enough times. Statistically impossible, but if you grant it the slightest bit of percentage, it's still possible, which means that this isn't certain, which means it's not a fact based on the laws of science.
Well, what do they call it?
I guess, but
it's technicality. It sounds autistic. This sounds like a dude with Asperger's geeking out, but I mean, like,
I guarantee you, somebody that does know what the fuck all that shit is, listening to this probably thinks you're retarded.
Yeah, but they also probably went to community college and never finished their fucking degree.
It's like they say,
I can literally suck my dick from
physics.
the back.
Physics will say 99.9999% chance of death if you fall from the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
but
it's about the same percentage of the amount of germs Lysol kills.
But if in the perfect updraft wind, you're still going to get fucked up, but there's a likelihood you won't die there. You might die on the way to the hospital, but you might not die from impact. You know?
Yeah.
People have survived the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff like that.
A lot of people
you'll die based off the kinetic energy. Based on this. Shut the fuck up.
All this nerd shit.
Shut the fuck up. Millions of particles and to me, science can be such a joke that we have literally figured out how
random shit he says.
We've literally figured out how many slaps it takes to cook a chicken.
Or
really?
Search it up.
Well, no, I think
there's an amount of kinetic energy that goes to a slap that generates heat, and there's enough. If you slap a chicken,
slaps per minute?
I'm not sure, but you can slap a chicken to perfection.
I think it's the speed at which you slap.
Yeah, I think it's got to be so many slaps per minute.
Yeah, slaps per minute, or just one singular slap on how fast you have to slap.
Yeah, because if you don't do it consistently, then you'll get heat cycles, and it'll be a hard, tough chicken.
Look, I just typed in how many S to cook a chicken. 23,000 average slaps to cook a chicken.
Average slaps. What the fuck does that mean? What's an average slap?
Just a slap. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, but
spank-
how many per minute? Because if you slapped a chicken once a day for 23,000 days, it's not cooked.
I think you'll be dead by
Holy
that
shit!
point. But
They actually did it. All right, so they did an experiment. They hit
You
the,
can't. I don't doubt you could.
They hit the chicken 135,000 times in a span of 6 hours to fully cook it.
All right, so 130,000 times divided by 7.
to get how many days it took?
No, how many slaps you need per hour?
So why is 7?
7 hours. It took 7 hours.
Oh.
137,000 divided by 7.
It said over 6 hours, over a span of 6 hours.
All right, so 137,000 divided by 6.
That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking
22,833 to cook a chicken.
All right, so 22,030 divided by 60.
380.
So 380 slaps per minute.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I could do 380. I don't know how long.
We might have to like
Yeah,
each do
we'll
it. Pop, pop,
yeah.
pop.
You know, like
I think if we had all three of us and slapped
Just
the chicken
right
for
there in the middle. Just
6 hours, 6 hours we could cook.
do you want to try that shit?
Do it like railroad road workers with this.
Yeah.
Is this a chicken breast or is this a whole chicken?
I think it's just chicken.
You want to try just a chicken breast?
yeah, we do just a chicken, bro.
How do we?
I think we
how
can
do
get
we
this to
all get
600 slaps a
permission?
minute.
I feel like we destroy the chicken before we cook.
I think
it.
we'll fuck the table up before.
It'd be the most
Yeah.
tender piece of fucking chicken ever cooked.
we just need to put a cutting board on the shop floor and just all lay on our stomachs. Just
Yeah, I just want. What's their velocity? What are they using?
It
Medium
said,
slap
it
it?
said
Average
average
slaps.
slaps.
yeah.
So I imagine just
I guess.
like if you put a bunch of fuck you Keisha slaps on that shit, it's
Yeah.
like fuck you Keisha. Like
Yeah.
just give them one of
Yeah.
those. Just give
I
them
guess.
135,000 of those, 380 a minute, 23,000
Dude,
slaps
that's a
an
lot
hour.
of slaps.
That's
dude.
a lot of fucking
That's
slaps.
a lot of
Yeah.
slaps in a minute.
But we should honestly season it first and be like, the slapping a chicken tastes better than frying it. And it's like, well, after 6, could you imagine that? I just
slap cooked chicken.
this is
bro.
a $400 piece of chicken. Why? It's slap cooked. What the fuck does that mean?
This is a lot of man hours.
Just
in
like,
there.
well, we're gonna close the restaurant for the day.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to bring in Overwatch.
We made these bricks from scratch, dude.
Yeah.
It's like you pay more for a made from scratch biscuit.
I think we should live stream this.
Yeah, dude.
We should we should all be in lab coats and like Magoo goggles and straight up just be like, all right, we've done the math.
Yeah, dude. I
And
think
we might need to double hand it.
380 slaps a minute, dude. You're cooking.
That's a lot of fucking slaps.
Hold
on, wait.
That's legit. Like, fuck. That's like 4 slaps a second.
We all need 126 slaps per minute.
God damn.
It's a lot of fucking slaps.
I don't know if we could do. I
Dude,
think we need
that's
like
2 slaps a second.
That is literally 2 slaps a second. So you'd have to double hand it. And you would not. We would all need to be windmilling a single chicken breast.
You gotta like hate your dad slaps on against the
dude,
wall, you know?
Or we just get one of those a slapper on a fucking spindle and
just put it on a drill. Just like one of those hat hands, you know. With so what if we have it like on the toothpicks that you cook shrimp on? What are those called?
Kebab?
Skewer, yeah,
Oh,
like a skewer,
yeah.
and just slap each side at the same time. We can probably cut it in half. Then you're cooking both sides evenly.
I think it's just possible.
I think we can cook a chicken in an hour.
That's optimistic.
Just going complete ham on this.
I think the chicken would go bad before it's cooked. A chicken breast sitting out for 6 hours being manhandled by people with 97-degree temperature hands.
I think we can cook a chicken breast in an hour.
I kind of want to slap the shit out of a chicken now.
Yeah. Like a live one or like
I mean, like, don't matter. Fucking dealer's choice.
see if we can cook one alive.
Depends on if he's fucking with my chicken feet or not.
Yeah, I think we could totally try it, dude. I'm willing to try on a chicken breast.
Yeah, I'll cook
6 hours. I can do a lot of shit in 6 hours, but I'm willing to try to cut this down to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, Let's see if we can get creative.
Yeah, if not, we just throw it in the road somewhere.
Well, that didn't work. It's a terrible idea.
Who the fuck thought of this?
Where's the boys at?
How do you explain that? Like, hey, hey, Chuck sent me here. He said you guys paint cars and we just leave. Hey, pick up the pace. I'm gonna go lock up the gate real quick. And just both of us just start going. Just speed bagging the motherfucker.
Yeah, I think we can do it. You guys want to give it a whirl tomorrow?
I don't care.
I've got shit I gotta do tomorrow.
Pussy.
I'm getting guns tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll push more spit on it.
What kind of gun you getting?
A gun. I'm getting a new long rifle.
Dude, I wonder how many. Dude, we should just take a piece of chicken and put it next to the barrel of the gun, and the flames that come out of the gun.
I mean, I wouldn't.
How
eat it.
many bullets would
I
that
wouldn't eat
take
it.
to
Season it
cook the
first.
chicken?
Yeah, you start seeing
Yeah,
God
you gotta
afterward.
season.
I think that's how all the chicken videos should start. Just like put it on a skewer, hang it up in the air, and just start throwing some dust at it. Garlic salt.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm down.
Like rock salt to a fly on the wall.
I'm willing to do it just to laugh.
Yeah.
Slapping me is just kind of funny.
Yeah, the noise.
I'm picturing it in my head and I don't see anything bad.
I think we'd have to practice on at least one or two chickens to get the rhythm down.
Yeah.
The alarming part is it has to stay consistent until
Do you
it's
start with like a room temperature chicken?
I imagine it'd help, but I imagine for every second you stop, you're going a deficit of 50 slaps.
See, I think if you're going at it from both sides, like two people slap at the same time, and that energy, like warming up a motorcycle tire, is squashing that shit to get that friction up inside of it, heating up the carcass. I think that's how you got to do it.
So my issue is like once you slap it, you have to move your hand out of the way quick enough for the next slap to come
for
through.
5 more hands.
Yeah, like it's got to be like.
Yeah.
And to get that right every single time, 20,000
I
times.
just imagine a lot of us are going to be doing this on the way down.
Part of my brain's telling me like you want it to not move. Like I think you're probably like if
I've
you
already
slap
thought
a
of this.
chicken,
You do it like a kind of indented plate bowl with a rubber thing on it, and then you throw the chicken on
so
it.
that energy has nowhere to go but reverberate back through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can honestly. I think the ground would count as a slap. I think the ground would
It would
be
be
a
hitting
more,
it from the bottom.
but I think it's probably equal to like maybe like 3 slaps.
Or we could cheat and put the rubber, make the rubber hot. Have the
that's
rubber
cheating.
cooking.
That's
Yeah.
cheating. I'm just slapping this bitch to done.
Yeah. Well done.
We can even like because you know how like when you're seasoning steaks and you like mash it in and your hand gets all covered in all the good stuff. And dude, after a while, your hand's just pounding seasoning inside that fucker. That bitch probably be seasoned all
It'd
the way
be
through.
tender
Oh,
as
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Do you realize we've done more effort into this than solving world religion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talk less about the Tower of Babylon than we did about slapping the
We already read the
This
whole
dude
book.
built a fucking tower all the way to space, and we're like, yeah, that's cool.
How many slaps?
Fucking anyway, and this is why he split us up. Yeah. So literally nothing gets done.
This is exactly why.
You know, that's how perfect their society was. Is they were literally like they were slapping chickens to perfection.
Yeah. They're like, dude, this is so easy. now we want to fry them and fry turkeys and shit. Dude, you just had to beat the shit out of it this whole time.
Yeah.
No.
Just kick the fucking
I
shit
knew.
out of it.
I always knew domestic violence was the answer, and nobody was going to convince me otherwise. So if I just keep going at it with my wife, eventually she'll be well done. Just
Yeah.
keep slapping the fuck out of
Beat
her.
the shit out of her.
Yeah.
I'll need to call a couple of the boys to get it done.
Hey, I was listening to Trump on Joe Rogan.
I actually have not watched that.
It's
I haven't finished
it's
it.
Trump. You know, so it's hard to. You have to want to listen. You know, but I understood how diverse this guy is. He's talking about regulation and nuclear power, because that was why I voted for Trump, is because he wanted to deregulate the government. And all of the corporations valued the regulation cuts more than the tax cuts. The regulation cuts brought more companies back to America than the tax cuts. All right. And they got into talking about nuclear energy, because nuclear energy is the cleanest, most sustainable energy you can have on the planet. But people are scared of it, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, you barely mess up and you overlook one little thing.
One little detail, that's all it takes.
At least that's the way that it looks like on the surface.
That's the way it's explained to you.
That's what.
Because I don't know. Because we have.
That's what the coal industry wanted you to think with Chernobyl.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Because it's like as many nuclear reactors that we have. Well, there's only like.
You realize they're all ran by like 19
like
and 25-year-olds, right?
Yeah, but there's like a handful of
Like,
fucking.
literally.
Yeah, but there's only like a handful of reactors that like have gone through like.
Well, there's quite a few in the United States, but he went on and talking about.
Well, no, I'm talking about failing.
Oh, yeah, there's like 4, I think.
Yeah, out of how many reactors that we have?
Yeah, but
on
it's
this
pretty
planet?
catastrophic though. Like one in Japan, that fucker is like 30,000 years away from being any remotely habitable.
It's all propaganda.
That long.
Just walk right in.
Yeah,
The fucking air vibrates you too much?
Yeah.
Please.
Just wait for the wind to go the other way.
Oh, there's reverb in the air. Don't go over there.
just bring a water hose.
This dude, he used to build buildings in New York and all that, well, all over the place. But he started talking about the regulations on the concrete. And he says it's level 12B concrete. And he said, I don't want to bother this podcast. Your time is more valuable than that, than to talk about concrete. But essentially it's level 12B concrete. And he knew exactly how many feet this concrete wall has to be. And one of the ones that were in South Carolina, they had $23 billion wrapped up into this thing. And when they came to inspect it, the walls were a ½ inch too thin. The wall is 8 feet wide. And you can't just add a ½ inch to these walls. They have to be torn down because it has to be poured contiguously, is what he said. So a ½ inch out of an 8-foot fucking goddamn wall. You know what I mean? Now, clearly, at least 2 feet of this is safety precaution. You know what I'm saying?
The other 6 feet is to make sure the other 2 feet don't fail.
Right. You know, and so but to have a dude that knows that information, that's running to be a president to run the free world, how fucking valuable is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like subtle shit. And think about all the other shit that this dude knows. First of all, Joe Biden don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And damn sure no Kamala Harris doesn't know that shit. You know what I mean? But to know that, you know, it's like, dude, this dude's a lot fucking smarter than I think a lot of people fucking think, you know? Even me. And I think the dude's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think I haven't even scratched. You know how like when you talk to the dude that owns Subaru, you talk to Chuck, people listen, these people are really fucking rich people that we know, and you can tell they just think differently.
Yeah.
You know? And they're like aliens, man. They just think they're on a plane that we just ain't, you know? Yeah. And I think I'm kind of marveled that he can speak normally. You know? Like Elon. Elon's a fucking genius. And when people see him speak, you can tell he's trying to dumb this thing down for the layman to understand, you know? And I'm kind of impressed that these fucking smart motherfuckers can.
So Nate was actually telling me something because he's in nuclear energy. So apparently Microsoft is funding, I forgot how much money it was. I think it's either a couple $100 million or $1 billion. I don't remember. but they're restarting a nuclear plant and it's enough to power all of Miami, the amount of energy that it produces. But that one facility, they need a data center for servers and everything like that all these companies are using, like logistics, because everything's moving digital. They're running out of space and usage, and the amount of energy they need just to power this one data center, they are restarting with their own money and only using that one facility just to power that one building. That one building uses so much energy that it needs its own plant to run.
Wow.
And I think it's like $300 million or something like that. I don't know how much money
Probably
it is.
more than that.
I'd imagine.
Trump even said that France
Still
has a
cheaper
bunch
than
of
what we give fucking countries for foreign aid.
Yeah.
He said
Oh,
France,
no,
a lot of France has a nuclear energy, and they have this. The way they do it is,
Fuck do they know? They use artisan bread. That's all they do is cook artisan bread.
They basically build small ones,
They're called ovens.
and whenever they need more power, they just build another small one, and they just basically just build a bunch of cubes. Nuclear.
No, they need to
energy
build
cubes.
one mega one that if it fails, it'll render their entire country useless. So they will stop sending shit baguettes to the rest of the world.
It's a baguette.
The only energy they need is just furnaces.
Yeah.
Just furnace power. We need something to cook the bread. You know, fucking. Man, fuck. I'll be honest with you, like disrespectfully, fuck the French.
Yeah.
Passionately disrespectfully. Wholeheartedly.
I
fuck the
almost
French.
want to have another Google Maps segment, but we're not going to do that. That's because it's just going to be slander.
Dude, I know what we can put on the wall right there. A map of France, and it's just a dartboard while we're talking.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. We'll have one in each corner so that...
Yeah, so I could do one.
like on Anchorman, where they're just throwing the football over her head, you can see the shadow of it.
I mean, I'd like to actually make a list of all the wars that France has lost.
Yeah, I don't think they've won any. They've always needed help.
No, the only bragging rights they have is like this fucking Napoleon douche fuck, but he's like 400 something
He
years
didn't
ago.
conquer
now.
anything, though.
But he
just
No.
said shit.
No, I'm tired of people saying he's the greatest military leader of the older age. It's like
But
he's
looking
the
up
first,
to everybody.
No, he's the first guy with a dumb hat that decided whenever they saw a bunch of shields, just not run straight at it. He just went around.
Yeah,
Like
he
they're
ran
just
from
like, oh, dude, they have a shield brigade. How about let's go around? This guy's a fucking genius. Let's suck his cock for 200 years. Like he's a revolutionary because he carried a useless sword. Like somebody had to pick him up to put him on his horse.
I just heard that he was like... Yeah, I just heard he was like 4'5".
Hey, Napoleon,
He's like Danny Pedrosa height.
He's like, get on the horse. And he just got on the horse. He's just going down, just like go around. Oh, okay. And they just went around.
Yeah.
Oui, monsieur.
No, he's just the first guy to not go straight into an arrow ambush.
Yeah.
And he's the greatest. How? Everybody else is just like, hey, these guys keep running at us with swords, so let's like not get stabbed.
I wonder if
Introducing
Napoleon
shields.
was actually French, or if he was just a French soldier. Maybe it was from somewhere else or something. Because French people are just dumb sacks of shit. I don't see them figuring out anything.
Yeah. I mean, they've gone through a bajillion revolutions and they still like do the same shit. It's like the definition of insanity.
Dude,
at
I
that
got
point.
this skateboarding game called Sessions, and you can download new maps and shit. And they got France in there.
And you didn't download it?
No, I didn't download it. Because every scene you've seen, this like the gameplay trailer or whatever, every scene had that fucking goddamn tower.
Ratted. He was born. His faggot ass was born in France, but he's Italian.
What?
Yeah, he's an Italian French person.
How does that work?
Well, the same reason there's black people in England.
Yeah, but they're English.
No, but there's Jamaican people in England, dude. There's a large Jamaican community in England.
Yeah, but are they born
And
in
they all say
Jamaica
fucking
and
Tuesday.
then move?
Well, it's
And
also
then move to
It's,
England?
it's the same way that every person that's 20 years old that was born in fucking Florida is Puerto Rican.
yeah.
Because their parents are from
Geralt's great grandmother was born in
so
Missouri,
he was born
but
in
he's still
France.
African American.
I'm African. No, you're not.
But
You were born in Columbus, Ohio.
But he was born in France, right?
No. Oh, yeah, he was born in France. But
He's French.
Yeah, he's a French piece.
Yeah, but no, but fuck him. This is the only time that I'll
Fuck
accept
that
it.
guy.
This is the only time that I'll accept that shit. It's because France is what fucking 6 football throws wide. It's fucking useless. I can
6 football pitches.
I can piss over their fucking streams. It's useless.
I'm trying to think of anything that country's good for.
Leaving.
Well, it's good because all the clouds technically go there.
It's
So
a great place to have a starting point, to just leave.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why Napoleon was like,
Yeah, we need more than
This
this.
place
Like,
sucks.
This place is going to be extremely easy to look really cool in.
yeah, there's just nothing there. I don't.
It's a staggering. His stature is intimidating to them. He is 5'2" in a world of 4'9" people.
France is the only place a 5'2" dude can have play.
Yeah, he's also he's 5'6" with his hat and boots.
Yeah. Fuck that dude. Fuck him. Fuck France.
He seems like the dude that had the early renditions of what a fanny pack was. He just seems like that guy.
He's like.
Have you seen pictures of this fucking tool?
I just know he always dressed like Prince.
Nah, this dude dressed like a straight fucking cock gobbler.
Well, I mean, so did Prince. He just.
Like he thought the age of
Oh
wed.
my god! Dude,
Yeah,
no,
he
Prince
thought the age of wed was fucking 9, guaranteed.
the age of what? Oh, what? Like marrying?
Yeah. Cause of death. What was his cause of death?
AIDS,
Monkeypox.
Spanish flu.
Yeah, Napoleon's cause of death. Stomach cancer.
How
Dude
do they
had
know?
a weak stomach.
My guy
How do
literally
they
died.
know? How do they know that was stomach cancer though? Wasn't
Yeah, that's a
cancer
good point.
not
Because he
like?
fucking didn't.
Yeah,
He died of a tummy ache.
yeah.
Because he's a little baby man.
No.
How tall is that? Google how tall that fucker was.
I guarantee you it's like somewhere very quick.
That's the very first thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
I was
Damn,
right.
dude.
Holy
Yeah, you
shit.
got it.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
That's
5'6". He's 5'6". It's an imperial measure, but that's with the boots and hat. It was like, how tall is
He was slightly below the period's average adult male height. Dude, that's lots.
Yeah.
I mean, and see, French fucks are short.
Spanish people or people from Spain used to be short too. They're not. They're just.
Yeah,
the
but
world's
then
gotten
they got
taller.
conquered like the French.
The rest of the world got taller, and France just stayed small.
Yeah.
Shithole. But at least
Same
know
with-
that every time you have a cloudy day in Florida, the clouds are headed to France.
I
So
feel
that's-
I feel bad for those clouds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where they belong.
Well, I
Blocking
mean,
out the
those are
sunshine.
probably
Not Florida
French clouds. We're probably getting French clouds.
Oh,
though.
That's disgusting.
So when the weather sucks, we can thank France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or blame them.
Yeah.
I won't thank them for shit.
AIDS,
Not even
France.
the bread.
Just we need to figure out every single cardinal direction that we're facing at all times, and actually line ourselves up to where we can do this and actually. Thanks, France.
Actually, I think you are facing France right now. So give them a what's up.
I just did. Fuck you.
They ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah, get away from the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh
dude.
my god,
I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
dude. I think that's just how we end every episode.
Yeah.
Just
talking
fuck you,
French.
Just ranking on the
The
French.
French. I'm going to start looking into their history and anything they've brought to the world that is actually. Well, this would be a very short segment. Nothing. They have brought nothing, nothing to this world that is useful.
Yeah.
Other than a place to throw our trash.
Yeah, and you know like all the other shit that we looked up, like their instruments and stuff. It was like French Polynesians. It was like shit that they conquered, and they just wrote
they
their
didn't
name
conquer.
On it.
They
Yeah.
just went to countries, saw this, and made a rendition. This is made out of French wood.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like when
They didn't
Dodge.
make shit.
It's like when Dodge buys Fiat and then claims it's Dodge. It's like, no, dude, you just bought a company. Get the fuck back over there. Let us keep making our.
Yeah,
Pandas.
if you have to, if you have to sell all 8 of your brands in one fucking store, all of them suck.
Yeah.
And that is where bakeries are from. All their bread sucks, so they made bakeries.
I don't even understand how France like conquered land. It's like you just kick them, you just push them all down. It's like if French soldiers popped up in here, you just beat the shit out of them.
I feel like
But
you
that's the
could
thing,
beat them
that-
with bats.
that's the thing. That's why guns are a very good equalizer.
Yeah, but the early renditions of guns were as long as they were tall. Like, how do they even use them?
Yeah, you needed like trailers. You just carried their fucking.
Not
you have those kayaks on one end. You just got these wheels that you just put underneath. Yeah. That's what they do with their rifles.
Yeah.
Hold the buttstock and just let the wheels fucking carry the.
They got wheels on their buttstock.
like a lazy ass with a surfboard. Just lets the nose drag in. Just holds it back. It's like, well, we see which direction the French took. Just sees a bunch of musket trails. They're dragging their rifles again.
Yeah. The little people are dragging their rifles.
The French were here. How can you tell?
Just look at the ground.
There's quitters in the sand. 18 pounds is too much. They're already wearing 42 pounds in boots and hats.
That's what we should do is make a like French skits, like how to do a French workout. Just have them bench pressing some baguettes. We. Squat thrust is just sitting on a dildo.
Yeah.
Fucking nerds. I fucking hate them.
Guarantee they haven't even made any cheese.
I bet you they got good cell phone cover too.
How?
With a big ass tower.
Oh yeah, because their entire thing is made out of fucking iron. And it's like, oh well, I mean, technically,
The reception here is great.
no. Other than that, there is nothing else.
You know they get Spanish channels over there. You probably get free
That place
TV.
is such a clusterfuck that you literally have to know 7 languages just to talk to everybody.
Yeah, and then they hate all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they hate all 7 of you.
And you don't even know who you're actually meeting because everybody's name is fucking Pierre.
Or Jean.
Jean Antoine.
Jean or Pierre.
Jean Pierre.
No, that is Pierre Jean. I am Jean Pierre.
Or you could call me JP.
Or Jacques.
Jacques Mollet.
So yeah,
Fucking pieces of shit.
yeah,
dude.
fuck
Garbage. The whole place is the epitome of what spit is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gross.
If spit was a place, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
spit needed a physical embodiment. It would be the map of France.
Spit was a face, it would be that.
Yeah.
It's just a
But not even like actually, it would be a topography map because we don't even want to see the actual city.
Yeah.
Just a topography
You know
map.
something I thought about? I mean, if you were from France, you'd be a piece of shit too.
Well, yeah, it'd be French.
Yeah. So you kind of can't blame them in some regard.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like,
like how we
goddamn,
talk
dude.
about Puerto Rico and the women there are crazy and the men there are liars.
Yeah. Which one came first?
Yeah, and they're perfect for each other,
Yeah.
and you can't blame either one of them for ending
Yeah.
up the way that they did.
I'd
because-
lie if I was dealing with a crazy person. I'd be crazy if I dealt with a liar.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, like you get in a car accident. No, you piece of shit. I'm French. Let's exchange insurance information. Jean Pierre, Jean. It's like name's Philip. Nice to meet you, JPR.
Can I just get your policy information? I don't need you.
You're spitting.
What?
Can you say it without spraying?
Do you have a handkerchief I could to just wipe all this fucking shit off? Start speaking like fucking Donald Duck. Oh, you're French.
You don't like it, do you?
Fucking bad.
Yeah.
Every time you're a Frenchman, just switch to Geralt. Be our version of the French. Allow me to introduce you to American French. Goddamn.
You hit my car, or you hit my stolen
You hit my caddy, cool.
You hit some random new car.
All right, well, let's go play some soccer tennis.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and call it here.
If you're from France, fuck you.
Yeah.
This is a shorter-
yourself.
this
But
is
you
a shorter
probably are
episode
currently
today.
fucking yourself. So
Well, there's a shorter episode today because we got shit to do and we got life to live.
Yeah,
so
all
if
you-
y'all was tuning in,
All French are
appreciate you.
bisexual.
Appreciate you for tuning in the way that you did. And for anybody that's still tuned in, appreciate you and fuck off.
Like seriously, if your French, actually fuck you.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Like literally.
Go beat the shit out of your mom.
Yeah.
Like
And dad.
take yourself and fuck it.
Wee.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. With all due respect.
No. No respect. Go fuck yourself. Like actually.